I want to talk to you about a vicious, nasty email going around, and a lot of my listeners have called me about it, and I want you to set the record straight. For one, are you a Muslim?
No. Let me just knock out all the stuff on that email. Because that scurrilous email has been traveling around. Obviously, it's some political dirty trick that's out there.
I agree.
They've been pumping it out. I've been a member of my same church, Christian church, in Chicago for almost 20 years. That's where my wife and I got married. That's where my children got dedicated. I pledged my oath of office on my family Bible. And I lead the Pledge of Allegiance in the Senate when I open up the Senate. So all the stuff on that email is absolutely false. I've never been a Muslim. I am a Christian. And, I think that people have to understand that this kind of dirty political trick is going to happen all the time. Don't believe every email that you read, especially when it's from folks you don't know.
Oh, no, I never did believe it. I'm a proud supporter. You are a man of God and a Christian, it's safe to say.
Absolutely.
Okay. Second question, I want to talk to you about health care. A lot of our listeners face these issues every day. I remember when it was a time where I made too much money to get Medicaid, but on the flip side, I didn't make enough to get health care for my son, so we were both without health care for some time. What is your stand on that?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a government plan that's similar to the plan I have as a member of Congress. If you buy health care on the private marketplace, if you're happy with it, that's fine. But if you can't get health care, like you couldn't, then you would be able to buy into this plan. If you didn't have enough money, we would subsidize your premiums. The bottom line is there would be nobody in this country who did not have health care. We would make sure that every single person got it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Tax rebates. We keep hearing you talk about the tax rebates. Can you explain them real quick?
It's real simple. We want you to get some money back from the government right now because the economy is sliding into recession. If we don't do something quickly, we are going to have some serious problems long term. We may have them anyway, because George Bush, I think, has mismanaged this economy so badly. But the simple concept is you will get a check in the mail from the government giving back some of the taxes that you paid or are going to be paying, so that you can spend that money on paying your health care bills or
paying down that credit card
groceries,
bill.
paying down a credit card bill. Point is, it puts more money into the economy. It keeps consumer spending up. Ultimately, that ends up keeping the economy afloat.
Okay. The black vote, how important is it for as far as your success as a candidate? Do you think it plays a big role, or do you think you can do it without the black vote?
Well, I think that it is important to get all votes, but obviously as an African-American candidate with a history of working on behalf of African-American issues, there's going to be some affinity from the black community. It is a huge percentage of the Democratic vote in the South Carolina primary. We are doing very well in that community right now, not, as I said, because of my race as much as I think people are also proud that I've taken on issues like racial profiling, that I've taken on the criminal justice system. I've done some things that are important to the African American community that no other candidate has done, and I think that's part of the reason why we should get some support.
Since we touched on the black vote, I want to know how you feel about black music of today. Do you think it has a lot of impact on our children and the way they behave? And secondly, what do you allow your children to listen to? I'm just curious.
Well, no, I mean, there's no doubt that it has an enormous impact. And there's a lot of hip-hop that I love.
Okay. Who's your favorite hip-hop artist?
Well, Jay-Z's latest album, for example.
American Gangsta?
It's an excellent album, although there's some words in there that I think are unnecessary.
Absolutely.
But the music and is powerful. But I do think that all artists, just like all public figures, politicians, etc., have to think about what kind of influence they're having on young people. And I get concerned when I hear too much emphasis on sex and violence and drugs and not enough on reading and scholarship and uplift. And I see no reason why you couldn't create a good rap about living right. And we haven't heard enough of that lately. Okay. As far as what my girls listen to, they're big on Beyonce, and big on Alicia Keys.
Okay.
My wife checks out what they listen to first. I
Good.
think, because they're 9 and 6, and we don't want them suddenly hearing something that would make me blush.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and I understand I got to wrap it up. Last but not least, question. I know there's been a lot of, catty stuff between you and Hillary and the debates and all, and I just have the question, if Hillary wins this primary opposed to you or in reverse, is there any chance that you all will run together as president and vice president? Would you even entertain that thought?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's been catty stuff. I mean, we're not having an argument about trivial stuff. We're having a serious argument about where we need to take the country and how we need to operate politically. And I'm sure that after this nomination process, the Democrats will be unified to take on the Republicans whose policies I think have done a lot of damage to the country. I think it's premature to figure out who's on somebody's ticket. I think right now I just want to worry about winning South Carolina. So
Absolutely.
Make sure everybody out there is going to vote. And if they're trying to figure out where to vote, how to vote, they can call this number, 1-877-622-6228. That's 1-877-622-6228. But, folks, this is a big election, and we have an enormous opportunity to make a difference. I hope everybody takes advantage of that opportunity.
Thank you so much, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Take care.
it.
All right.
Thank you.